Hey, it's Mirella Manelli, and today I'm going to show you how to achieve this golden and copper shade utilizing a marbelizing technique using all Kenra color. Now let's go ahead and get started. Now before we get started on our technique, I wanted to walk you through what canvas we're working on. So it's been about 6 months since my model got her hair done, and you can see she has a beautiful virgin canvas up here, and we have some washed out kind of coppery golden type color. So what we want to do today is enhance it and really bring back that goldeny copper kind of feel back to the hair. Now, in order for us to do the marbelizing technique, what we're going to be doing first is adding in some subtle baby lights, and then we're going to be putting permanent hair color in between. So it's going to be such a cool technique that's going to be quick for you to do in the salon and a really great add-on service that you can offer your clients. So let's go ahead and section her out and get her highlights on. For her sectioning, we're going to be utilizing a diamond shape right on the top and then isolating out the entire bottom. Now this sectioning works really great for anyone who has one length hair or kind of a bob in the case of my model today. So we're gonna really focus on adding a lot of dimension and highlights on this diamond shape on the top. And I'm basically utilizing her natural hairline. You can see she's got a very slight widow's peak, which is really beautiful. So we're just gonna use that as our guideline and bring that right on back and then create a point right below the apex in the back of the head. Now in order to get started, I'm gonna focus more on the hairline. That's the most important part where your clients are going to definitely pay attention. And I wanna keep her foundation and base primarily that copper, golden copper that we're gonna do. So I'm not gonna highlight right on the hairline, I'm gonna highlight behind the hairline. So the way I'm gonna do that is by taking a section down, and then I'm gonna take a small slice right behind that hairline, and then go ahead and highlight it. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I really love using this comb. It just makes it go by so much quicker. And there's different types of combs that you can use with different widths. So if you want something a little bit smaller, I personally like the chunkier one. I think it just creates a really pretty ribboning effect. So what I'm using for this project is Simply Blonde Beyond Bond Lightener at a 1 to 2 with 20 vol. I'm just looking for a little kiss of brightness, so that way it can aid in the marbelization that we're gonna do a little later. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Now what you'll notice is that how I'm doing my application of my lightener is keeping it pretty rooted. I'm not trying to go all the way to the root. So I do this by just stroking up my lightener towards the root, and it just gives a really beautiful feathered effect. Now that the diamond shape is outlined, we're just gonna go in with some diagonals and work our way all the way towards the front. And I'm gonna do this just by taking about an inch or ½ inch subsection. The amount of depth that you wanna create is completely up to you, but I'm not looking to really pack these in. I'm just looking for a subtle kiss of dimension, because when we get ready to marbleize her hair later, I don't really want to see the highlights, I just want that dimension. I want to see that brightness and light reflection just kind of poking through the top. Now, one of the things that I love about Beyond Bond Lightener is that it does have its dual bond complex. It's super hydrating, and it gives me a nice slow pace, which I really like. But it also can be a really powerful lightener as well, depending on your formulation. So what I used is a 1 to 2 mixing ratio with 20 volume developer. And I think this is gonna give us the perfect amount of brightness and work in tandem with that permanent dye that we're gonna be putting in between her foils. Now the diagonal placement that we're using is almost like a foolproof way to create a lot of movement and dimension without seeing anything super stripy. So if you're not sure you want to do horizontal or vertical, I would definitely try some diagonals towards the top, and you'll see it's just like the perfect combination of both of those placements. So I'm going to continue on this entire diamond section, creating these diagonal highlights right on top. Now that I have our foils in, I'm going to apply her permanent color. So what I decided to mix up was 3/4 of 9N and 1/4 of 8C. at a 1:1 mixing ratio of 30 vol for her root, and we're gonna do the same exact formula for the mids and ends, but with 40 volume. So I'm just gonna apply that from roots to ends, in between her foils, and then process her for 30 minutes. Now the reason why I decided to use 9N is because we're doing a lot of lifting with 30 volume and also with the 40 vol. And what's going to happen is we're going to expose a lot of that natural underlying pigment and warmth. So when you think about lifting to a level 7 or even an 8, we're going to expose a lot of those copper and gold tones naturally. So the N is going to come and do its job of lifting, but still exposing and enhancing the warmth that she's naturally gonna have. A lot of times when we're doing like gold and copper shades, we don't always have to go in with straight copper. You want to choose more of a golden type of formula, and I think that the 9N in combination with the 8C is gonna be really beautiful. Now that I got her color on, we're gonna let her process room temperature for 30 minutes. And once this is done, I'm gonna take her right back to the bowl, and what we're gonna do is remove the foils while the color's still on her hair, and then we're going to emulsify it for about 2-3 minutes. This is what's called marbelizing. And basically what we're doing is taking advantage of all of these pigments that have now been done processing on the other hair, and it's going to lightly stain those highlights, creating this marbelizing effect. It's just gonna give us this nice, beautiful tone. And once that's all done, we're gonna rinse that out, shampoo it, condition it, and then I'll show you the final results. And here's the final result of our golden copper shade. You can see that the highlights really brought in a lot of dimension, but really what just brought this whole look together was the marbelizing technique itself. The marbelizing technique is a quick way for you to add value to your service, and it's not gonna create any extra time or extra product behind the chair, and your clients are really gonna love the added dimension to the service. So I really hoped you enjoyed this hair tutorial, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and if you like videos like these, make sure to check out all of the other amazing videos right here on the Kenra Professional channel, and I will see you in the next video.